Hi Libra, welcome to your weekly check-in for the 12th to the 18th of November. If you'd like a personal reading, please see the description box below the video for information on how to do that. Feel free to like, share or comment on the video, and you're welcome to subscribe to the channel as well. And I need to start saying, which I always forget, that this reading is for Libra, Sun, Moon or Rising. And for those who aren't familiar with those sorts of astrology terms, I may start putting a link in the description box so that people can get their birth chart and find out what their moon and rising sign is as well. But anyway, let's get on with your reading. So these are the oracle decks I'm going to be using for today's reading. We're going to start off with the Power of Surrender card as your main theme. So what does Libra need to know for the 12th to the 18th of November? So, right, Libra, okay, you got a lot of stuff to get off your chest potentially. Let's see. Right, surrender, defensiveness. Defensiveness, oh God, I'm going to say this before I even begin this. I disagree with the first sentence straight up. Well, not 100%, but for the most part. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness, allegedly. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out. Then offer a clear, non-defensive response. Right, so the last part of it, after the weakness part, I 100% agree that's the ideal, isn't it? I mean, it doesn't always go that way, that we communicate in an empowered way and that we can remain calm and etc. And I may have to bring up something quite personal in this reading, actually. Yeah, I think I will. Yeah, I'm a Libra as well, which you probably know at this point if you've seen any other videos, but I feel that I may need to mention something for myself here. So defensiveness is a sign of weakness. I don't agree with that. I think it can sometimes be, you know, like where you get some people where whatever you say to them, they jump down your throat. Yes, but there are many other reasons for defensiveness that are nothing to do with weakness. So yeah, maybe they don't mean it all the time, but I don't know. I just can't, every time I read that sentence, I just can't, I have to point out that I don't agree with it fully. So shall we get the rest of your cards out before I speak on anything? Yeah, let's get the rest of your cards out. So what is Libra's theme from the tarot deck for the week, for the weekly check-in as well? I would say though, even if you do get people where they are very defensive and want to jump down your throat, whatever you say to them, is it weakness? I don't know if it's weakness. I feel it's more to do with, it can be to do with a sense of inferiority, can't it? Or it depends on what's happened to them when they've grown up. For some people, they've just been treated in a way where they've been made to feel small for a big part of their life. So they grow up feeling that they have to be in attack mode 24/7. Some people have just been through experiences where they may come off as an arsehole, to be frank, but the defensiveness isn't, I wouldn't say it's weakness per se. There are other things behind it. There are other reasons behind it. But anyway, let's get off that trip. So Libra's main theme. 10 of Pentacles, that doesn't feel right. Let's try again. Libra's main theme for the week. Weekly check-in, it'll probably come back out again now. 7 of Pentacles, okay. And 3 of Wands, right. So Libra's energy specifically. Well, Knight of Cups did come out. I'm going to try that again because of the way it fell. It felt really weird. Oh, that's too many. I can't take that. I think I'm going to take this one here, and these are going back because that's insane. So we have the 2 of Wands in reverse. Okay. Let's look at any external or surrounding energies. We've got the 7 of Swords. And what has fallen? It is the Five of Wands in reverse. Okay. So yeah, I think what I wanted to say, and to be frank, I was contemplating doing a video on this subject, but one of the readers that I've followed for a very long time, that you may or I may have already mentioned in a Libra video, is Aquarian Insight. She's not on YouTube she's got a video on YouTube, but it's basically saying that she's moved to other platforms. So she's on Odyssey. She's also on Rumble, and I think if you look on whoever I follow, she'll probably come up there. But yeah, she's on Rumble and she's on Odyssey. And she made an interesting video about vengeance that someone may or may not want to check out. It depends. But so there was something that came up for me, and I remembered that she did a particular video on about your relationship with vengeance, and I thought, oh, you know what, I'm struggling with something, and I'm going to look at her video. So that was quite helpful. But the thing is, I think the main point I'm trying to make here, to try not to make it too long, that's just occurred to me right now, actually, with defensiveness. Sometimes people can be defensive because they suppress emotions. Potentially they've suppressed other emotions. And I can say for myself, one of the things that I've been thinking about this week, or probably the end of last week, was that I suppressed a lot of anger within situations. And I don't know if it's because I'm partly because I'm a Libra, because, you know, with us Libras, we tend to be the peacemakers. We can be known for being very cool and calm. So when certain situations are happening where everybody's kicking off, we might be the one sitting there trying to keep the peace and being calm and looking cool as if nothing's, well, I don't mean cool as in like cool kid cool. I mean just calm as in nothing's affecting us. Or in situations we might have a strong sense of integrity where it's like, oh, I'm not reacting to that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to argue with anybody over that, even though inside you're like absolutely raging. And I realized that I suppress a hell of a lot of anger over certain situations. And yeah, it just occurred to me that that has an impact, doesn't it? And that is one of the things that can make you defensive. And it can, when you suppress things, it's like a pressure cooker, isn't it? And eventually it has to come out, or you realize that you've been holding on to something for a very long time, and you're sitting there thinking, well, why is this still bothering me? It's been how long? Why should I still be thinking about this? But it's probably because you suppressed an emotion to do with it. Like, you may have acknowledged a bunch of other stuff about it, but like the negative, sometimes we don't like to face our own negative emotions. We don't want to think of ourselves as being jealous or just feeling resentful towards people. We don't like to think about those things that much. Or even if we do feel that way, like, we might be happy to say in a moment, oh, that person's pissed me off or whatever, but we don't want to sort of think about weeks, months or years down the line we're still holding on to that feeling. We want to feel like we're better than that, which is not necessarily wrong, because yeah, you don't want to, it's kind of in a way is a bit of an immature behavior. And I'm not saying that as a judgment, I'm just saying it as a literal statement, because kids, although kids get over arguments quicker than adults, but we sort of see those things, can see them as immature, can't we? So you think as an adult, oh no, well, I've just got to get over it and deal with it because that's the mature thing to do. But we're human. We kind of have to acknowledge our emotions. It doesn't mean that if you're still angry at someone years later, you have to go and attack them. But if you try to push that down and pretend it's not there, then it is going to come back up and affect you. And as I say, I may at some point make a video about this suppressed rage thing or anger thing. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention it here. Anyway, I'm going to get on with the reading, Libra, because I know I've talked a lot. So 7 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands as your main theme here. Let's see. And if you have any stories about suppressed anger or suppressed emotions in general, or even if you have any opinions on the defensiveness as a sign of weakness or whatever you think it might be a sign of, then feel free to share that in the comments. I'd be interested to hear any other perspectives on that. So 7 of Pentacles and the 3 of Wands as Libra's main theme. So that's the is it worth it card. I mean, maybe you've set an intention for something a very long time ago, and you're wondering at this point in time, God, is it worth it? Is it worth me doing that? Is it worth me wanting that anymore? That might be a feeling that you're having at the minute. How that connects to defensiveness, I'm not sure at this point in time, but we do have a card of conflict here with that 5 of Wands. So yeah, let's see how we get on. So 7 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands. You may have even invested your time and energy into something and you're wondering, is it worth continuing this anymore? It may be with the defensiveness. So you've got the star there. That's what you want, isn't it? That's what you desire. That's what you aspire to, and you want it to be successful. you may have gotten to a point with something, or you may be doing something or pursuing something that is, it could potentially be unconventional, or you're doing it in a really different way, or you could be in a competitive field with something, and you sort of, that could be where the defensiveness comes in, where it's like you're having to defend what you feel like you're having to defend what you are doing all the time. So it's like, is it worth continuing doing this anymore? It feels like a battle, I think is the best way to put it. It feels like such a fight, such a battle. Is it worth it anymore? So let's continue with that. Or you may be, you know, like if you were someone that was trying to start a particular business, and you're constantly having to sort of promote yourself and plug yourself, and you just get to the point where you're kind of getting frustrated with it, and you just don't know if it's worth doing it anymore. That could be something as well. Could be a relationship as well, that there are issues there, and defensiveness could be a conflict within that, but you're just sort of thinking, I kind of want it to work, but can we make it work? Is it worth it? So anything else? Anything else for the Seven of Pentacles and Three of Wands? Yes, okay. The Death card. I think that was in the deck upside down when I just separated the cards and cleansed them after the last reading. So I'm going to put it up right there, because I know it came out reversed in the last reading I did. And I do cleanse the decks in between the readings, but sometimes you miss one and you don't turn it over. I'll try that again. So it's like there's something here, there's something that you want, something that you desire, something that you aspire to or are pursuing, but there needs to be a change in, potentially in approach, or just some sort of change. We've got the Sun there and the Five of Swords, and that's another card of conflict as well. That could be where defensiveness comes in. I mean, sometimes the Five of Swords, it can be where you're facing challenging people, situations. Sometimes it is where you are being attacked, sabotage potentially. Let's look at the Sun on its own. I mean, that could just be about success, to be honest. That something needs to change if you want to be successful. There's a potential with this Five of Swords that there's a confidence issue here as well, or a belief, self-belief issue. And that doesn't mean you're in terms of your entire personality, you lack confidence or self-belief. It could be just in this one particular situation, you have a lot of self-doubt. And that, again, that can connect with defensiveness and a need to sort of address that. Why is the Sun there, please? So we've got, okay, Six of Pentacles and Five of Wands. You may feel like you're not getting the support that you need to make this work, or that it's too hard in general. Anything else for that Sun card? There's also that competitive thing I said as well. If you were pursuing something where it's like a competitive field, that it's just too difficult, that it's too difficult to achieve. Anything else after that Sun card, please? Anything else for the Sun? Three of Swords. So you may have had some disappointments within it as well, or you may fear disappointment within it, or fear that you're going to be hurt in this situation if it doesn't work. Why is the Five of Swords there? Why is the Five of Swords there? That's far too many cards. Try that again. Why is the Five of Swords there, please? Why is the Five of Swords there? So you've got the Five of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and the Hierophant. It feels like a battle. It really feels like a battle. I'm going to get one more after the Hierophant, but the main thing I'm getting, I don't know why I'm getting anything after the Hierophant, it's just that it feels like such a battle where you probably have had hurts and disappointments in the situation. You may have had to feel like, yeah, defensiveness. Had to feel like you're going up against people, which is what I was going to say before the Seven of Wands has come out. Like justifying yourself. You've almost feel like you've been having to justify yourself. You've had to you may have had to pep talk yourself and to sort of say, you need pep talk yourself and you sort of like, believe it, you can do it. And sort of promoting your own sense of self-love and self-worth as you are actually doing this. You may have had to go up against, I mentioned, so you might be doing something unconventional. You might have had to go against certain rules in terms of what you're doing, and just overall, your energy might be a bit sapped, actually, in terms of having to defend and protect whatever it is you're trying to do and achieve. But there's a strong desire for it and a strong desire to make it work. So let's, that's, the main thing, as I say, it's you're probably questioning if a desire or an aspiration is worth it, and it probably feels like it's been a battle, or it is a battle to achieve it in different ways, to be honest. So the Two of Wands, it's the same energy as that, to be honest. The Two of Wands, upright, it's where you are choosing a particular path and setting a plan and the intentions for the path. But it's in reverse, so again it's like, is it worth it anymore? So let's get some clarifiers out, although that's a pretty straightforward meaning. So that's your energy, that's how you're handling it. You may even be at the point where you're thinking, should I just pursue a different path? Or you may be contemplating different paths if you're feeling uncertain about whatever it is that you're trying to do now, or different opportunities potentially. Right, Two of Wands, why is that there, please? So that's a sign of courage, isn't it? Or a need for courage, whatever you do with that Strength card there. Or it may be that it requires strength to continue on the path that you're on now. It could be, you've got Justice coming there now. So to get the outcome that you want, like say if you continue on the path that you're on, and it is a battle, it's sort of saying, if you want this to work out, then you're just going to have to keep going. I know just have to keep going it's easier said than done, isn't it? But that's a message that's coming in there. You may even question if you have the strength to see it through, to be honest. Right, Queen of Pentacles. What comes after that? Two of Wands again. I feel like this is very valuable to you, even if it feels like a battle. You probably wouldn't go through all of this if it wasn't worth it, would you? Anything else? Anything else? Temperance, okay. I'm going to get a few for Temperance. For me, that's more just about, you may be contemplating, well, I've chosen this path. It feels valuable to me. I've put the effort in. I want it to work. When does it come together? When does everything come together and I can feel kind of more at peace with it, maybe? So Temperance, why is that there? Yeah, the Nine of Wands is the opposite of peace, isn't it? So you would probably want it to finally come together and put your anxiety to rest. If you have been feeling anxiety, when can it feel stable? When will I be able to celebrate how much I've achieved with this? You can probably celebrate now, because I'm sure if you've put in work and intentions, you must have achieved something so far. And maybe that's a message to you to, rather than thinking about, you can't pretend it's not hard if it's hard, can you? But to also acknowledge what you've achieved so far. How far have you come with it so far? Even if you're not exactly where you want to be with it. That may help to keep the dream alive. If you keep monitoring your progress in the situation, then that might help to keep the dream alive and help you to help you to sustain it even when you're feeling doubt. But I can see the doubt and uncertainty with that two of wands being in reverse. I mean, it could also be that two of wands could also be that you've done what you've needed to do so far. You do want to continue, but you're not sure where to go next. That could be a possibility. That could be a strong possibility. So you've got the Hermit there, which is about going off on your own path, isn't it? Going off on your path, having your guiding light, guiding yourself, etc. So yeah, your energy, I'd say there is some uncertainty there, whether it's uncertainty about whether it's worth continuing or not, or what to do next to take it up a notch, to take it up another level. But there is that battle between protecting or defending whatever you're trying to do, or fighting for it in general. And this could be yourself even. It could be, I mean, it could be a situation, it could be a relationship, it could even be yourself. Fighting for who you are, to be who you are. You know, if you are an unconventional kind of person, that may be part of the struggle and the defensiveness. Sometimes I think with when people are quite unconventional, they do consider, shall I just hide myself away from the world and then I can live in peace and no one will harass me or judge me or etc. But that's not fair to use it. So it may be within yourself that you're having a bit of a battle there. Maybe you face some situations recently where you have kind of been attacked for who you are. But let's move on to this Seven of Swords. So that's an external energy, that is. What is that? So we've got the Knight of Cups. You've got the Page of Wands. We have the Three of Cups, the Knight of Wands. This is a lot of people, isn't it? Anything else? And we have the Moon at the end of it. So I was just talking about hiding who you are, wasn't I? And the Page of Wands can be a card of identity. There is potentially something here about needing to stay true to who you are. And the reason I say that is because we've got the Three of Cups there. That's other people, isn't it? That's groups, that can be friendship, community, people who support you. You've got that there, but then you've got the Knight of Cups, the Page of Wands, and the Knight of Wands all facing that group here in the middle. So for me, that almost feels like no matter what happens, stay true to who you are and what you believe in. You may have to continue the battle if other people oppose you. I mean, hopefully you've got people that genuinely do believe in you and support you, but you still have to be genuine and sincere and authentic and true to yourself as well. And I think this is a running theme with Libra, isn't it? I think, you know what it is, Libra? I mean, I've said to other signs as well, it's not unusual to have running themes, is it? I mean, most things that we go through in life, it's not just like this happens one week. We're not like a soap opera where it happens and like 2 days later it's done, is it? It's usually running themes, so it doesn't surprise me. And with Librans, if you're going to go by the stereotypical Libra, we can be known to be people pleasers, can't we? We want to make everybody else feel comfortable. So by doing that, that means we kind of adapt to what makes them feel comfortable. So sometimes does it mean we kind of compromise a little bit of who we are? Probably, because we don't want people, I'd say we probably don't want people to hate us for the most part. And I'm not saying this is not every single Libra, but I'm speaking of Libra if you're going for like a stereotype of Libra. We don't want people to hate us, but then maybe sometimes we have to face the fact and make peace with not being liked. Maybe that's something that we have to work on, is making peace with that. And it's not that it's just becomes easy and you're completely cool with not being liked or hated or whatever. It's just that it's there, you know it. Maybe you'll be a bit angry about it for a while or upset or whatever. And it's just like, well, it is what it is though. I can't, if that's how they feel, that's how they feel. I'm not going to try to make someone like me because then I'm not being myself, am I? I mean, you've got the Moon, it's hidden. It's things that are hidden, isn't it? It's things that are hidden. So this may be an energy that's kind of pushing you. It may be a risk, because the Seven of Swords for me, yes, it can be about lies. It can be about risky behavior as well. You may have an energy around you that's pushing you to take more risks. And part of that risk, it could be showing who you are. It could be expressing who you are, the ways you express who you are. Like say if you're doing something unconventional as a career or just a path in general, that is part of who you are, isn't it? Your purpose, your path, the way you express yourself, it's all part of who you are. If that's the choice you've made and you feel like it's worth it and you value it and you believe in it as well. I'm going to take a quick look at the moon. Yeah, I'll take a quick look at the moon, but I think the main thing here is to whatever you're doing, whoever you're getting involved with, whatever situations you're in, it's about being true to who you are, true to your identity, true to what you believe in, what your dreams are, what your desires are, just who you are in general. So why is that moon card there? And I'm going to try and think of a title that isn't just a repeat of all the previous titles, but as I say, is a running theme about needing to be authentic or be more authentic and that sort of thing. And defending your choices. And yeah, I feel like that just comes up constantly. Right, see the Queen of Wands? If you know about the Queen of Wands, you'll know that she's not afraid to be who she is and express herself and shine her light. And that's what's hidden, isn't it? The moon, that's what's hidden. Again, it might be that that you're either struggling with the battle of expressing who you are, or maybe you're not completely showing who you are. But yeah, let's get one more for that. Is it who I think it is? It's the Knight of Swords. So yeah, it's like the battle, isn't it? Again, it's the battle between, sometimes you may feel tired and you feel like I haven't got the energy to be defensive about what I'm doing or who I am, and you just feel like you can't be bothered, so you'd rather stay silent. But what's important? What's important to you? Is it how important is it for you to how important is it for you to show who you really are and to be who you really are, and to express your truth and not worry about what the people have to think or say? How important is that to you? So let's move on from that, because I think we've got enough from that, haven't we? So we've got some advice here, which is, what is it? The Five of Wands in reverse. Okay, that's interesting. So the Five of Wands upright, that's challenges. That's where you'd be up for the challenge, wouldn't you? So why is it in reverse? That's strange. Maybe it's about changing your perspective, actually. Could be about changing your perspective. Why is the Five of Wands there? If the Hanged Man comes up, it's about changing perspective. But let's see. Right, you've got the Ace of Wands. You've got the Five of Pentacles. It may be shift your focus, actually. Seeing the Ace of Wands and Five of Pentacles up, as in focusing more on your passion and whatever it is you feel passionately about, focusing more on that rather than where you are being potentially attacked or rejected or having to defend yourself. Like, you know, that whole I've got a good title now, keep your eyes on the prize. You know, that whole thing about keep your eyes on the prize, because no matter what you do, you are going to face challenges. But, you know, like if you keep your eyes on the prize, that should help to see you through. Anything else for that? Right, so that's the energy of, it feels more like resilience at this point. It is still defensiveness, protectiveness, but it could be more about resilience at this point in time. I'm going to try that again because that didn't feel right. So that was the Devil. Anything else? So you've got the Empress there, but she's in reverse. Oh, Ten of Cups in reverse as well, God. I think this is saying that if you waste too much of your energy on being defensive towards yourself or what you're doing, then it's going to interfere with your abundance. I'm not saying that you shouldn't defend yourself in any way, shape or form if somebody attacks you or insults you or whatever. But if you give too much of your energy on that, whether it's in situations you become argumentative, which is hard to imagine with a lot of Libras because we're supposed to be peacemakers, aren't we? Or if, I think for Libras, there's a chance it would probably be more, like what I was saying about suppressed anger at the beginning, that I know that I avoid conflict, and that is known to be a Libra trait. Like if you're going by stereotypical Libras, that's a Libra trait, isn't it? Avoiding conflict, because we're meant to be peacemakers typically. So, but what we would do, what's more likely that we would do is, rather than having an actual argument with a person, we would experience a situation with someone where we feel hurt, and then we would go home and we would brood over it for like a long period of time. That is what I imagine. That is more a Libra response. And feel free to share your opinions as well on this. I'm happy to hear other people's stories and experiences. I mean, maybe you're not that kind of Libra. I mean, you may have different things going on in your birth chart that, you know. I mean, I think with Libras, we can get argumentative, but it's more so when it's like a justice related, like a justice warrior type situation potentially. Or it's when you get to the point where you've where the pressure cooker boils over. That's happened to me as well, where I'm not argumentative, but then a bunch of stuff has happened over a long period of time and then a blow that has happened. But yeah, as I say, the way we would probably waste our energy is not literally arguing with somebody, but then we would go home and brood over it in private and let it get to us and overthink it, and then that would waste our energy, wouldn't it? I'm going to get something for that Seven of Wands. It could even be, and this is going to sound weird. I mean, yeah, don't waste your energy, too much of your energy on defending yourself. But it could also be a boundary thing as well, where if you nip it in the bud early on, if somebody does insult you or whatever, and you do need to defend yourself, rather than overthinking it, it might be a case of nipping it in the bud, setting a boundary straight away, saying what you've got to say straight away, so you kind of get it off your chest straight away, rather than keeping it in, trying to look cool, calm and collected, and then going off and brooding over it in private. So it could be a boundary issue. Anything else with that? You've got the King of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups. Yeah, so that, again, it could be a boundary. Ace of Swords for me can be boundaries. So the King of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, for me that can feel like sort of standing strong within who you are, what you believe in. Potentially having to set a boundary and then leaving that behind. Once you've addressed it, then you should be able to leave it behind. Whether it means leave the thought behind, the feeling behind, whatever, so that you can conserve your energy and focus on your abundance. And what was all of that clarifying? It was all clarifying the Five of Wands. It's about how you deal with challenges and conflicts. Because I said at the beginning, didn't I, that well, at the beginning of this bit, that the Five of Wands upright, it's about dealing with challenges in reverse. It can be potentially avoiding challenges, but I guess it's maybe a suggestion on changing the way you deal with challenges and attacks and conflicts and defensiveness as well. So I will move on from all of that now. I think that's the final bit of advice. It's just keep your eyes on the prize, I would say, and maybe change the way that you deal with conflicts and challenges, or change your approach or beliefs or attitude in terms of the way you deal with conflict, so that it doesn't sap your energy, basically. And there may be something about the boundaries in there as well. And I would go back to this as well, where it says to communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out, which isn't easy if you've been attacked because you're going to be angry. Then offer a clear, non-defensive response. Right, anyway, as I said, I'm going to move on. I'm going to get some more advice from the Chakra Wisdom Oracle deck. Let's see what comes out for this. I am intrigued. I have a thought on something that could potentially come out here. And I don't know if it will. And all I will say about it is the card has a grey border, so we'll see if it comes out. I might be wrong. I don't want to project my thoughts onto this, but let's see. Any more advice for Libra, please? I'm going to try that again because that was just a bunch of cards coming out. So any other cards of advice for Libra, please? Right, you've got complacency, and I think that is right. It's not, no, it wasn't that one actually, it was a different one, but let's take this one. So we have complacency. So let's find that in the book for you. Right, it says, Crimson Dreams, I am feeling the loss of my dreams. And they have a little story or legend associated with the character, and this character is called Flo. It says, at the end of her life, Flo reflects on the dream she shared with her late husband to move to Florida. They never went. After Flo dies, her daughter discovers that her parents had enough money to move there. As she plans what to do with her inheritance, she wonders why her parents never lived their dream. The inspiration says this is a warning not to give up. Beware of coasting along in a situation that is not what you really want. You will never be fulfilled by the unmet dreams of others. Personal inquiry says, how can I redefine my dreams? How can I stop procrastinating? Key ideas are finding self-nourishment, leaving dreams unrealized, feeling depleted, time for deep rest, lack of motivation, holding back, and the keywords are daring, indomitability, and I've heard of that word and I don't even know what it means, and reclamation. And I feel tempted to look up indomitability right now just to check, which I might actually do before the end of the video. But yeah, again, I'm feeling like it's that keep your eyes on the prize. It says here she wonders why her parents never lived their dream. We don't know, it doesn't tell us, so you kind of get to fill the blanks in there. So bear with me 1 second while I look up this word. Right, Libra, so this is really interesting. So this word, there's a bunch of different words. One of the main things that stood out to me was unconquerable. So it's a word that's used to say that someone is strong, brave, determined, and difficult to defeat or frighten. So that's interesting from what we were talking about standing up for yourself and how you stand up for yourself, how you address challenges. I think that unconquerable, that word is going to stick with me now, because it's like whatever you're trying to achieve here, whatever challenges and conflicts and attacks and whatever it is you have to face in whatever you're doing, you kind of need to be unconquerable, don't you? So I'm going to leave your message there. Thank you for watching the video. I hope there was something helpful in that. I know I chatted quite a lot, but yeah, it's just me trying to get my point across. Hopefully there was something useful for you in it. Again, if you want to book a personal reading, then please see the description box below the video for that. If you want to like, share or comment on the video, you're welcome to do that as well, and feel free to subscribe to the channel. But until the next reading, Libra, please take care.